What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. It's another Thursday morning, which means it's another AEW Dynamite review. I'm going to record a couple of videos back to back now. Get some content flowing. I've got a postman came today, as you can see by the sticker, wherever it is, unless it's fell off. Oh, it's here. Nice Undertaker Snoop Dogg shirt, official. Undisputed Era Steez with a sticker on, so you know it's real. And WrestleCrate arrived today, so I'm going to be opening that as soon as I finish this video. But last night was AEW Dynamite. They are not taking a break for Christmas. They'll be on next week and the weeks after. Much like Impact will. So these videos will keep coming every week. And yeah, we'll just crack on with this. So last night's episode opened with the Cowboys. The Cowboys versus the Hardy Party. So the Cowboys were Hangman Adam Page, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. They all came out. Silver and Reynolds had their little cowboy hats on and they were doing all this. It was great. It was amazing. Shortly in, the Cowboys begin to build some momentum, and as they all get in the ring, they all look at each other, and Hangman's like taking everyone out, and Silver gets up on his back, and he's on his back and he's going like this, and then Hangman kind of smiles, walks around to the front of, I think it's Isaiah Cassidy, and just does a senton with John Silver on his back. I must say one thing about this match. Silver and Reynolds looked amazing, particularly John Silver. All the typical Beaver Boys big long combos were being hit with an additional move, like their big move that goes in with like a stunner and the German. There was like a stunner, then they threw, I think it was Isaiah Cassidy into and the Hangman hit him with a pop-up powerbomb, and then Silver just grabbed their legs, rolled them back into a deadlift German suplex. He looked fucking incredible. But towards the end, though, he was taken out as Matt Hardy hit him with a twist of fate off the apron, threw Hangman Adam Page over the barrier onto the concrete, and as it looked like Alex Reynolds was about to win it, it's up on the top rope, Matt Hardy came up and grabbed his hair, causing a distraction just long enough to let Private Party hit Gin and Juice, at which point Matt Hardy tagged himself in for the pin and won it for the Hardy Party. And the truth is the truth, or whatever his new saying is. First of all, thoughts on this match. 1, amazing match. 2, Hangman Page and John Silver and Alex Reynolds have the most amount of chemistry ever, and I love them. Oh my god, they were so good. 3, wherever this is going with Private Party and Matt Hardy, I'm a fan. You're progressing 2 storylines here, and you give us a brilliant match to open the show. Well done. We go backstage to Alex Marvez, who is with the Inner Circle, everyone except for Wardlow, who is not here tonight because he's dealing with some family issues, which means the 7-on-7 tag later on in the night will be a 6-on-6 without Brandon Cutler on the Best Friends and Friends side. MJF stood there with his plaque that he got for being the Performer of the Year in the New York Times for Le Dinner Debonair. And Chris Jericho seems a little bit upset by this, and Max, don't worry, Chris, And Chris like, I actually came up with the idea, and Max like, don't worry, Chris, look, we got it, but I couldn't have had this amazing year without you sexy hooligans, you that make up the Inner Circle. Like, this is bad, it's been a great year, tonight we're going to win! And everyone just kind of looks pissed off at Max, but he's there with a big shitting grin on his face, and Jericho's lapping it all up, even though he's still a little bit pissed off that he didn't get Performer of the Year from the New York Times. But then I have something that I had spoiled for me by Fight TV on Twitter. Cody wrestled Angelico, but before the match, did a little promo, and it was Cody and Brandy in his house, and it was a little promo to announce the fact that Brandy's pregnant, they're having a baby, and that's great. But Fight TV just announced it. They posted a photo of Cody being like, soon-to-be father Cody has to get all that out of his mind if he wants to beat Angelico tonight. And I was like, oh, from the fuck, Brandy's not pregnant. Check both her Twitters, googled Brandy was pregnant. You can only see articles from like 2016 when they were being asked about it a lot. And it turns out they are having a baby, so congratulations to them. Cody then went on to have a fantastic technical wrestling match with Angelico. A very, very even back and forth match. At one point, Angelico had in a submission where he had both of Cody's arms locked in. Cody crawled to the ropes and got a rope break by biting the bottom rope. At one point, Cody went for the disaster kick. Angelico had been working on the legs the whole match. And he kicked his leg out from under him as he came down and locked in the Navarro death roll. For a very, very close, it looked like Cody might submit. Eventually, though, Cody fired up, hit a Cody cutter, and picked up the win over Angelico in a really, really good match, which has cemented Angelico, I think. After the bell, Team Taz came out, and they were just all stood there. Ricky Starks looked amazing, as always. And then Team Taz was like, we're going to battle you. Don't care that we're going to give you some paternity leave, brother. And then Sting came out and saved the day, and still looked up at Darby, who's just chilling in the rafters as he does. Marvez, once again, running around looking for interviews wherever he can, a bit like me on Twitter and emailing people and being like, can I interview you for college, please? he gets Miro, and he's asking Miro about what happened last week. He says, last week you cost Orange Cassidy the Dynamite Diamond ring. You've been fined $75,000 because you hospitalised 3 members of the security team. And Miro goes, who cares about that? Look, it's all about the ratings. It's all about being the best Twitch streamer and the numbers you get there, the numbers on TV. And Miro is ratings. And you know what? I've got a big announcement. Next week, the Holiday Bash, we will announce Kip and Penelope's wedding date. And I'm so excited. It's going to be great. Up next, Eddie Kingston comes out flanked with Butcher, Blade and Bunny in their street clothes, in their white Levi's. And Bunny's in a whole white bunny outfit with a white bunny mask. And he comes out to call out his enemies. And first of all, I go, God, partner, I ain't dead yet. You missed. Enemy number 1. Number 2, the bastard Pac. He says, we took you out, we hurt your neck, and now you've went away back to England. You're back in England because you can't handle the heat. And speaking of bastards, what about that big goofy bastard, number 3, Lance Archer? And then Lance Archer just comes out, scraps them, big fight happens. And then Penta and Phoenix come out to even up the odds. And then Pac comes out, so he's not back in England, he's not hurt. Full gear, obviously, wet hair, obviously. And Butcher and Blade fight with Lucha Brothers as as Archer and Pac just 2-on-1 just jump Eddie Kingston, but not as a team. At one point, Archer's beating him down, and then Pac just runs in and just puts him right in the head. And Archer takes offence to this. So there's some hostilities between Pac and Lance Archer, and that's a match I'm really excited for. Dashing is backstage with Dustin Rhodes now, talking about Evil Uno's proposition to him last week to join the Dark Order, and he said you could be 7, obviously. 7 was a very unfortunate, unthought out, bad, awful gimmick that Dustin Rhodes was saddled with back in WCW. And there's a clip on YouTube where he's had enough and he just breaks character and he's like, no, I don't care. What? I hate this. I hate this. And he says, look, Evil Uno, you came out and you insulted me. 7 was a bad idea years ago and it was a bad idea for you to bring it up. Last week I went through 10 easily. Well, next week, me and you, one-on-one, I'm going to dismantle the Dark Order piece by piece. And that match is going to... it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Just give it time. Don't give it 3 minutes, which you gave to 10. And Dustin, just give Dustin and Evil Uno 15 minutes. That'd be great. We then had the big 12-man tag, and the best friends come out with Orange Cassidy, who goes and sits on commentary, puts the headset on, but it's not even plugged in. One point he cuts them during the match, he's just holding the wire for the headset. The microphone's up here instead of at his mouth. It was great. He was just hanging out. So it was the best friends and friends, other friends being Top Flight and the Varsity Blondes, taking on all members of the Inner Circle except for Wardlow, who, as I mentioned earlier, wasn't here tonight because of some family issues. So the match started with Trent and Jericho, but before any moves could be thrown, any punch could be thrown, anything could happen, Brian Pillman tagged himself in. And the match started with Brian Pillman Jr. and Chris Jericho, and honestly, they had a very good chemistry. They went back and forth for a few minutes, and Pillman really, really impressed me here, as did Griff Garrison a bit later on, which I'll get to. But yeah, the match opened with Jericho and Pillman, and it was good. As I said later on then, Jericho tags out to Sammy Guevara and Pillman tags out to Griff Garrison. And they have an excellent, a really, really, really good back and forth. At one point then Griff tags out to Dante Martin and he continues the amazing back and forth with Sammy Guevara. And they then clear the ring in the Inner Circle, have a big 6-way hug, and Excalibur's like, Orange Cassidy just hugged me on commentary. So yeah, we're all feeling the love. Gotta give people what they want. Big 6-man hug with a big crash, and it was great. At one point, Top Flight hit a combo of planches on the outside. Like Darius goes first, tags out, when no one was looking at Dante. I think they took Cash or something. Dante comes out and takes everyone out. It was great. In the ring then, there's Griff Garrison and Jake Hager, and Hager's coming at Garrison, but Garrison's too quick, he's dodging the way. At one point, actually, Jim Ross compared him to Adam Copeland, a young Edge, and yeah, I see it. I do see it. He's a big, tall, athletic freak, man. He's great. I love Griff Garrison. Griff is avoiding Jake Hager. He's too quick for him. Eventually hits the ropes, but Jericho hits him in the back with the baseball bat. Then Hager picks him up, or grabs Griff. Looks like he's going to go for the head and arm triangle, but goes nah, picks him up, does the F10 as a tribute to Wardlow. MJF tags himself in and picks up the pin. And after the match then, Jericho and MJF start jumping Griff Garrison, and Top Flight chase them off. And later on, we find out a match has been made for next week. Well, the challenge was laid out later on in a promo segment, and the match is officially made later on in the night. Next week we'll be getting MJF and Chris Jericho wrestling Top Flight. It's going to be so good. SCU take on the Acclaimed, and if you were watching on Fight, you got the whole thing through the advert of SCU. Just being a couple of dads, like they always are. Is the music still playing? Christopher Daniels still has the mic, and he's like, I see everyone out there. You're staying distant, you're staying healthy. Woohoo! He's like, before we were originally called Safe and Healthy, but it's not as catchy as SCU. And then he starts with Safe and Healthy chant, because he's Christopher Daniels and he's someone's dad. And I tweeted this morning, I was like, SCU are definitely hundreds of dads' favourite tag team around the world. And I think they are. Then the Acclaim come out, Max Bones and Anthony Bones and Max Caster. Yeah, Anthony Bones and Max Caster. And they're cutting their battle rap, the thing that Caster does. And then Frankie gets on the mic and cuts a very dad response. And then the match itself was really, really, really good. A lot of good back and forth. Both teams showed what they could do tremendously. Towards the end, Bones shoved CD off him and Caster hit CD with a boombox. Then Bones hit you grab him like a uranagi, pick them up, and then you spin around into like a sort of side slam, which I'm assuming is his finish, for the win. And they're now on an 8-match win streak in AEW. Got on the mic after and battle rapped the Young Bucks and called them out for a tag title match next week, which was set up later on. So next week we're getting 2 incredible tag team matches as the Acclaim take on the Young Bucks for the tag titles. Next up we had Evilise and Diamante taking on Big Swole and Serena Deeb, and this match was really good. Big Swole came out with a lot of fire at the start, but was broken down, and throughout all the picture-in-picture throughout the break was, torn apart by Evilise and Diamante. As you come back from the break though, Serena Deeb is in control with all the technical know-how that she has. At one point she has like an Indian deathlock sort of lock on the legs on, I believe, Evilise. Diamante runs at her, punches her, grabs her and hits a snap suplex, goes back over with the leg lock still locked in. It looked brutal. Swole and Deeb were able to mount a big comeback, and Swole picked up the win with a very nasty looking deep clover leaf, which she's called the Clearwater clover leaf, that she's been taught by Dean Malenko apparently, for the win. After the bell though, the Vicious Vixens came out to jump them, and then Red Velvet came out with a chair to even the odds, and she chased off Nyla. Of course, Brandy's not getting in there to help her friend because she's pregnant, so that's fair. 2 more little stops before the main event. So first of all, we had the Best Friends saying they'll be at the Holiday Bash, and they're calling out Miro, and they're like, you ruined Orange Cassidy's life, look at him, he's distraught, he doesn't have his diamond ring anymore, look, he's very upset. Orange Cassidy's just there, being Orange Cassidy, obviously. And they say, well, next week you say you're going to announce the wedding date. Well, we'll be at Holiday Bash next week, we're festive, we'll be there, so we'll see you next week. And one more final pit stop. They played a little video package of Jurassic Express before announcing that they'll be wrestling next week. And as we cut back to the commentary, FTR are there, and they're very angry. They're screaming down a headset that, we're the top tag team in this business, the only ever Grand Slam tag team champions, and you put them up. They're the ones you put and say, these are the future of tag team wrestling. We're the now of tag team wrestling. We're sick of this. They're not cutting in line and they're not taking our spot. That's how we put food in our families' mouths. It's a joke. And then they storm off, further laying the groundwork for that amazing match whenever it happens. We then had the main event, which was a World Title Eliminator match. Joey Janela and Kenny Omega in a no disqualification match. And it was kind of a glorified squash. We'll go through it spot by spot, but it was amazing. So Janela comes to the ring with a trash can, and before Kenny can get in the ring, he just throws it at him on the ramp, takes him down. Great. Garrison tries to get Tony Schiavone off commentary, and Tony tells him to kiss his ass, and then he just grabs a live mic, goes down the side of the ring and starts doing live commentary there. At one point he grabs another mic and gives it to Kenny so Kenny can do his own commentary, and then Kenny's going, you want a bit of commentary? Okay. Kenny Omega, he's cracked him with a cookie sheet, and Cal's on the outside saying the exact same. It was great. Before that though, I forgot, Joey has the upper hand after bonking Kenny? Just bonk with the trash can right at the start. Goes to the outside and sets up 2 chairs. One is facing in at the ring, and then one is, he's throwing Kenny off to the side at the ramp, and one sort of facing the seats out, facing where Kenny is. Kenny then runs back and hits a Katara Crusher, his big leapfrog bulldog, onto it. Then sits Joey Janela on the chair, goes into the ring and hits the Terminator plancha onto Joey Janela on the chair. Kenny gets Joey back in the ring and does a moonsault off the second rope, holding the trash can here to take out Joey. Then goes for a one-winged angel, which Joey hits a poison rana out of. Sonny Kiss then sets up a table on the outside for Joey Janela. They put Kenny on it, goes off the top rope with the leg drop, and Kenny just lands like here with his arse on Kenny. They go through the table, it looks quite brutal. Janela gets back in the ring, only gets a 2 count, goes up the top rope, goes for a moonsault, misses. Kenny runs in, 1 V-trigger, hits the ropes, another V-trigger, 1 winged angel, picks up the win, and it's not going to be giving Joey Janela a world title shot. After the bell though, as Callis and Kenny are celebrating, Death Triangle come out and Pat goes, Kenny, we have unfinished business, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. You see, Rey Fenix beat Pentagon in the World Title Eliminator tournament, but you didn't have to face Rey Fenix, did you? So I've spoke to Tony Khan, and in 2 weeks, on December 30th, you'll be defending your World Heavyweight Championship against Rey Fenix. And that's how the show went off the air. And that was this week's Dynamite. Overall, a brilliant Dynamite, I thought. Everything served a purpose. Everything set itself up perfectly for next week. And I'm just so excited. I'd give the show a 9 out of 10. The main event was great. It was everything it needed to be. I mean, those two can have an amazing half-an-hour match, but realistically, it only needed to be this. And that's what it was. And it was fantastic. I thought Kenny looked great. Joey looked great throughout the whole show. The Acclaimed looked amazing. SCU are proving they've still got it. I mean, no one ever doubted that they lost it. The Varsity Blondes once again showing that they're one of the most underrated tag teams in the world. And yeah, I just thought the show was really good overall. So that's it for this video. Make sure you come back tomorrow for my Wrestle Crate unboxing. Maybe a special little video on Friday that I've planned. And I will do. But that's it for now. I'll leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new. Share this around to all your friends who watch wrestling. And I will see you next time.